Meow meow, welcome back to our Hip to the Grip series. Go ahead and get those raptor hands ready today because we're going to do our half bracket grips. No matter where you're at in your pole journey, get comfortable with your half bracket grip. There is a proper way to do this, and if your alignment is correct, this is actually a pretty comfortable, kind of easy move. It's about stabilizing. If our alignment's off, we're going to be using our muscles over time to try to stabilize us, and that is what we're going to avoid today. Let's first set up our half bracket grip at the pole. I'm going to stand nice and tall and set my shoulders first, taking those shoulders up, pulling them back, and then anchoring them down towards the floor and pulling my shoulder blades into my back pocket, keeping a nice long spine here. Now my shoulders are going to be set in concrete. Your shoulders are not going to be shrugging up or down at any point during this movement. It's really about stabilization. I'm going to take my bottom arm and I'm going to bend my elbow up. Notice my hand is going to stay below my nose. I don't want to take it up above my nose and where my eyes are. As that arm slides up, it's going to start shrugging into my shoulder, and it's harder to get that elbow over where it needs to be. So anchor those shoulders, slide that hand up, push out those air pockets in your palm first. Get that nice contact, wrap the fingers, wrap the thumb, straight wrist, also technically a true grip. From here, for my half bracket, I'm going to pull my elbow across the midline and try to put the pole where that ulnar bone is and then that little meaty muscle. You're going to find that line against the pole. Go ahead and wiggle it back and forth and let your tissue move to feel it wrap around and secure around the pole. Again, that hand is about at my nose. I'm going to think about creating as much space as possible. This is where the stabilization and the strength comes in. I'm not lifting whatsoever. I'm pushing away. Pushing my body away from the pole, feeling that stabilization on that arm. From there, my top arm is going to reach up as high as it will go without overreaching those shoulders. From there, anchoring those shoulders down, you're going to let yourself walk those toes up towards the base of your pole. It's about sinking down, 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 down with a little prance. Notice I'm not lifting, I'm not jumping, and I'm not pulling. I'm stabilizing, anchoring into where that's comfortable, and then shifting my weight eventually down. That's our half bracket grip. Get comfortable with it because it's going to help our climb as well as so many other moves and transitions. I'm going to show you some conditioning for this one. Keep in mind, this move is all about the push-pull. I'm pushing in my bottom arm and I'm stabilizing, engaged in my top arm. Don't worry about pulling with that bicep or that elbow with the top arm. That's wasted energy. If you just stay secure and let that top arm be your tension cable leaning back, that's going to be your pulling back. You're going to be stable in that bottom arm. Getting comfortable between those two is what's going to make it efficient and graceful for you. As far as our conditioning, I recommend spending time in this position, feeling that stabilization. To do it standing with the pole, you're just going to set that up by anchoring those shoulders, taking that arm across the body. Arm is pushing away with those shoulders down. I'm going to let myself slide down just a little bit, bending those knees, stepping back and allowing myself that plank position into the pole. What's really important about this is this bottom arm doesn't do this sort of collapse. So if you find yourself collapsing, come up a little bit higher so that you can maintain that integrity in the shoulders, feeling that push. Notice where my hips are. Try a set where you're really facing in the pole. Try a set where we're rotated and opening in the side position here. You're going to pull those shoulders down. You can slide that down again to make it a little more challenging here without those shoulders collapsing. My favorite stabilization conditioning for your half bracket grip is to do it on the floor. I'm going to set up on my knees first, create a triangle like I would for any sort of plank position on my elbows. I can do it with my knees bent. I can also do it with the full plank, but getting used to taking one elbow across the midline at a time. If I find my nose, my belly button, I'm going to let my elbow come towards the midline. Notice this arm is a little high. So now I'm going to pull that down just a little bit, pushing that chest away from the floor. I'm going to push down with my palms from here. And then again, it's all about finding that stabilization. Go really slowly through here. I can do one at a time. I can try some different positions, but getting comfortable, stabilizing that shoulder is what's going to translate up in the air for that position in your climb. So now that you've got some basics down with your half bracket grip, I recommend trying it on a spin pole. What's nice is that momentum from that spin will actually assist in pulling those hips away from the pole. That's going to give you an easier time to get that half bracket into position. Again, without getting it too high, keep those shoulders pulling down, that elbow anchoring down, and across the body, pushing that chest away. I'm going to let myself, you can either start with your setup here, one foot close to the base, the other foot is out. You're just going to lean towards that bottom arm to get it going. I highly recommend trying this in your climb, using that momentum from the spin. Don't take those hips up too high. I'm only taking those hips up a little bit so I can use that space for the elbow. Bringing it immediately into that other elbow. Yay! Let us know how this was helpful for you, darling. Please let us know where in the world you're watching from. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you next week.